Hi, my friends. This has been Sion Klatsko. I want to share with you a thought. I live in Muncie, and there are a lot of Hasidic shuls here. And those Hasidic shuls, sometimes the Hasidim daven, and as they daven, they'll clap. And I'll be davening Shemona Esrei, a little quiet Shemona Esrei, and the guy behind me is going like this. And I was thinking, what's the point of clapping in the middle of davening? And I know I've seen there are svarim that speak about clapping taking away the sitra achra, the dark forces, but what exactly is that all about? So I'll share with you that my wife and I both had COVID-19, and I had a much worse case than she did, to the point that Hatzalah was called to my home a few times. One of the times I was on the floor, I was having a hard time breathing, and anytime I would take a deep breath, either I would feel like I'm choking, or I couldn't get the oxygen in, or I would just cough. I just couldn't breathe. I couldn't get that air in, and it was a horrible feeling. Even when I slept, I'd have to sleep sitting up to make sure that the passageway was clear so that I was able to breathe. And after a few weeks, when I started getting better, one morning I woke up and I took a breath, and I was able to fill my lungs up with pure oxygen, and I didn't cough and I didn't choke. Like, it felt so good. Wow, look at that oxygen filling up all the air sacs in my lungs and filling every nook and cranny and crevice of my being, all that wonderful oxygen, so much so that I went outside, and the air outside is even cleaner. There aren't that many cars on the road. And I took a deep breath outside in Muncie, that beautiful, clean, green, fresh air. Ah, and it felt so good. And I was thinking, before COVID-19, I used to breathe all the time. We all did. Always took it for granted. Just like I take my eyesight for granted, or my hearing, or music, or all the other bodily functions that we're able to appreciate. My sense of smell. A lot of people lost their sense of smell during COVID-19. I could smell, I could taste. I have an appetite. When I was sick, I didn't have an appetite. I lost 10 pounds. I'm able to eat food. I'm able to enjoy the food. And it feels so wonderful. And why did I always take it for granted? So I saw that there are cities like in Eretz Yisrael and other cities in other countries that have started this custom around 7 o'clock, when the nurses and the doctors come out, when they finish their shifts in the hospital and they're exiting to go to their cars, to leave, to go home, that people go outside, they go onto their balcony, they go to their front porch, and they clap. Every day they clap, because these people are heroic. They're putting their lives at risk. They are working themselves to the bone. They are watching people dead and dying, trying their best to go from one patient to the next, even though there are no more beds left in the hospital. They're in the waiting room, they're in the halls, they're speaking to relatives. It's emotionally and physically taxing and draining, and they deserve our round of applause that they have given us this gift of life. They've given us of their own from themselves. And then I realized why it is that Hasidim clap. You see, I've always taken my breathing for granted. And yet, now that I breathe, and I'm able to breathe freely, and I can enjoy the air and enjoy how it feels in my lungs and enjoy what it does to my heart and my blood and my immune system, I feel like clapping. What am I clapping for? I'm clapping for the one who gave me lungs in the first place. I'm clapping for the one who is zoikef kefufim, matir asurim, pokeach ivrim, hanosein laya'iv koch. Maybe we just needed this to remind us that if we clap for those who rightfully should be clapped for because of what they've given us, maybe it should be spontaneous, the way that we clap when we daven and we sing to Hashem and we appreciate all those things that now we appreciate even more so that we've taken for granted in the past. It's spontaneous, it's joyous, and we say, Hashem, I will never again take you or your gifts for granted. I wish everyone great health, refuah shlema, and let us come out of this magefa, out of this coronavirus, different and more appreciative people. Have a wonderful day.